What is up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. I am on my treadmill desk right now, so if you see me moving around, that's because I'm multitasking, helping you guys, and working at my desk, and uh, walking on my treadmill and getting my steps in. And I wanted to talk about something today, and I noticed a lot of new and even experienced real estate investors fall in this trap that unfortunately can ruin your career as a real estate investor. So yesterday, I woke up at 4 in the morning. Me, my girlfriend, my dog got all in the car at 4 a.m. We drove from South Carolina to North Carolina, which is a 3.5 hour drive for this property inspection at 9 a.m. And we got there at 8:30. We're all excited. I made a post about it yesterday on Facebook, and and we're like really excited. It's a 25 unit apartment building we're looking at acquiring. We know we have the management team in place. We already have the contractor in place who's gonna, it's called turn the units, which is doing new floors, doors, kitchens, bathrooms, cabinetry, things like that. So we already have the whole entire team together. So it's just gonna be like a super seamless like acquisition. We buy this property, put it underneath our current management team, and make money on the cash flow, appreciation, all the good things that multifamily real estate investing provides us. And we get there, and I'm like all excited. I'm like, yes, I'm like on my decaf coffee. I'm like pumped. Oh, then if you guys are watching this, like and comment down below if you guys are watching this, so I know. Let me see if this is working. Comment if you're watching this. So I'm like super excited. I'm like hyped up on decaf coffee because I'm an old man at heart. And we have the entire team there. We have the environmental inspector there who does a phase one environmental to make sure that the grounds are good, that there's no oil tanks, there's no leaks in the grounds, that nearby properties aren't like leaking oil or laundry mats. They always have issues with laundry mats. I was talking to them about that. So we do a whole environmental test to make sure that the environment is safe for their tenants, right? And then we had our sewer guy there, the guy who was coming up and doing all the sewer lines scope. So we had someone for all of the sewer lines to scope all the lines, make sure there's no tree roots and they're not collapsed and that they're in proper working order, right? We had our general inspector there ready to inspect all the units, the roofs, the doors, the units, everything. So it is literally a $6,000 day to get everybody there. It cost me $6,000. And we're there. We're all excited. We're like the whole team's there at 9 a.m. And the first thing I always look at are the basements, because the basements tell a lot about the property, right? The basements can tell a lot about the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical. Is there mold? Is there water intruding into the property? There's a lot that a basement can tell. So we go down to the basement, and the first thing I see, I'm like, no, don't say it's so, right? Because I'm like so pumped for this property, and I looked, and there's like this wrapping on top of piping, and this property is built in 1930. One of them was, and what looks like asbestos. I mean, without testing it, we don't know for certain, but looks like asbestos all over the piping, right? And as you know, like asbestos, isn't good. I'm like, oh, like that's going to be like tens and tens of thousands of dollars to remove the asbestos, right? I'm like, no. And then they said all the plumbing was copper plumbing, which I asked, I made sure I asked the broker, like, hey, make sure this is, copper plumbing, right? Not galvanized or PVC or even PEX. And like, no, it's copper. I'm like, perfect. We get there and I look, and all the water lines are galvanized. I'm like, shoot. And if you don't know what that means, like galvanized plumbing is this old plumbing that they used to use for water lines. And the issue is when water runs through it for a long time, it actually turns the inside into like lead, and it can actually poison your water. It's like lead in your water, and it also gets smaller and smaller and smaller, like swells up on the inside. So your water pressure gets less. So there's like a safety issue, right? Because the property's built in 1930, so we're coming up on 90 years of the same water lines. And then two, like a water pressure issue as well when it comes to that, right? Let me see. Man, bummer. Do inspection 6 days. Save yourself potentially over $100,000 or more. Yes, money well spent, and that's it, right? That's a very good comment. And that's it. That's why we do these inspections. So I'm like, oh, like the water lines, we got asbestos, and then I look, there's like looks like there'd be like sewage in the basement. I'm like stepping, I thought it was dirt, and I was like, is this dirt? And the inspector's like, I think this is sewage. I'm like, oh, sewage. Like, where is this coming from, right? And you see like old piping. I'm like, now we need new waste lines, new water lines, asbestos removal. And we look at the basement walls and they're kind of bowing in. The floor joists, the wood is actually kind of soft. And, you're supposed to be it's supposed to be solid and you could take your finger to it and like pick it. And I'm like, oh, like all these issues that were happening with this property. And, this property had multiple buildings. 2 of them were built in 1930s and the rest were built in 1980s. 1981s were fine, right? Those were like built in the 80s, no lead, no asbestos, built right. They're a lot newer. And, we were there for 20 minutes. I'm in the basement and I'm adding it all up. I'm like looking, hey, where's the piping going? There's crawl spaces. I'm like, gosh, mold, foundation, asbestos, lead, plumbing. I mean, it's literally going to be in this 2-story building. So to replumb that 2 stories, and it wasn't like easy to get to. The windows, half of them were single pane windows that we would have to replace, wood, and they had like broken glass. And we're just like doing all the math. And I'm like, oh, like, shoot, like I really wanted this property, right? And it just seemed like, within, 20 minutes, I made the call. I said, all right, guys, everyone, we're going home early today. I'll make sure everyone gets paid, but we're going home early today. Like we don't need to go any further. Right. And it was like really heartbreaking because I already have investors who want to invest in this deal with us. Like it was just like ready to go. Right. We already had the team, the management. We're familiar with the area. We have 2 other properties in a 45-minute distance of this property. And we're like, perfect. Right. And like it was really hard to say no. And this is like why I'm making this video is because I think a lot of new investors talk their way into a deal when actuality, when you get under contract on a property, you should always be talking your way out of the deal because we get really excited and we want to get the deal closed, right? We want to, have the units under management. We want the passive cash flow. We want the wealth appreciation. We want all the good things that come along with it. But we have to take a step back and realize like, hey, like, let's not get too excited, right? Let's, calm down a little bit. And like we really have to talk ourselves out of the deal, right? So I notice a lot of new investors are always like really geeked up and they're like they'll see that stuff and like, okay, we'll just fix it and just go past it. And you could do that, right? You could just fix it and go past it. But then, it could potentially be hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix all this stuff, right? Because, asbestos, you need like an asbestos certified person to come remove all this stuff. And it's in crawl spaces. It's really small spaces to get to. They can charge a ton of money. It's gonna be a ton of time getting all of this repaired. And by the time you do all that work, it's like, was it worth it? Do you have enough equity? The money, time, sweat, and tears you're gonna put on this property to renovate it, to bring it to what it should be, the condition it should be. Are you gonna have enough equity at the end to make it worth it? Right? And that was the question. And we're looking at the numbers. And I mean, within 20 minutes, I made the call. I said, nope, it's not worth it. Right. So don't get too excited on a deal and always remember to look for reasons why not to buy the deal. Right. Always look for like, hey, I shouldn't be buying this deal because of X, Y, and Z. Right. And then can we fix those and how much it would be? Because I see a lot of new investors, they get really, really excited. They want to close the deal. And then they get in deals that don't make sense. They lose money every single month. Unfortunately, I have investor friends who are in deals that they should never have gotten into. And now they're stuck with it, right? Like the guy I was actually going to buy this property from, he bought it just a few years ago and he already wants to get rid of it. And it's probably because of all these problems, right? And he probably talked himself into the deal, like, hey, we'll just figure it out. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And then now he has all these issues, right? So I just want to jump on for a few minutes today and kind of share like an update, like, a heartbreak I had yesterday. I was like, but I honestly felt really good driving home. I was telling Krista, I was like, I actually feel really good about this decision. Like, I actually was excited that I felt so good about this decision because that means I didn't get too excited and I didn't try to sell myself into the deal. If that makes sense, right? I knew that it wasn't right and I pulled the plug within 20 minutes and I believe I made the right decision. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching this, and I plan to do more trainings on Wednesdays. If you guys want to hear something, talk about something that interests you, put it down in the comments, and maybe I can cover it. We also have free trainings on our website. You can go to it should be on this banner, the rewbuilders.com. That stands for Real Estate Wealth Builders. We have free trainings if you want to learn how to buy, fix, and flip houses, wholesale apartment buildings. We actually just came with a free training. We made $170,000 wholesaling an apartment building. That means we never bought the property, never put any money into it. We just found a seller, found a buyer. We made $170,000 that way. I actually just did a free training last Wednesday, and I plan to maybe do it in 2 more weeks again. How to buy multifamily with no money, no credit, right? So I'm going to go walk all the ways how we find discounted real estate throughout the country. We're buying stuff from Michigan to the Carolinas, to Tennessee and Kentucky, and all the different ways we find discounted real estate and how you can buy it and partner with people. That's the biggest thing, is partnering with people who have the skills and the money to help you close these deals and to help coach you and guide you along the way. So if that sounds interesting to you, comment down below, like, yes, I want the free training on how to buy multifamily, no money, no credit. And then I'll get you a link. I think we're going to do it in 2 weeks from now. And we had like 30 or 40 people live on the last one, and everyone's like raving. They're like, this is the best training ever. Like, we always over deliver on all of our stuff. So I don't know. It was like exciting to me. I was like watching like people's like the light bulb go off. Like, we had our event in Key West last month, our live event. We had 30 something people there. And I just saw like light bulbs going off, like as presenters spoke about their business, right? Their multi-million-dollar business, how they made multi-millions of dollars through real estate. And you could just see everyone in the audience like, oh my gosh, like I can implement that in my business, right? And I just love seeing that. So if that sounds interesting to you, comment down below. If this was good content, comment down below and let me know. So I know to keep making these, right? If you guys want me to. All right, guys, enjoy your Wednesday. I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.